Hi and welcome. Today's video will be about meal prepping, but this one will be a little bit different to other videos that you've seen about meal prepping. This will be what I'm calling a soft launch. And it will be for anyone in perimenopause or, just anyone who feels overwhelmed by the idea of meal prepping. It can feel like there's just a lot you need to do and very overwhelming to begin with. I know myself in perimenopause, one thing that I really didn't expect was how easily I get overwhelmed now by things that didn't really fuss me before. I get anxious in the build up to things and just feel overwhelmed, and which usually results in me just not doing it. So I wanted to start meal prepping. Suri and I have talked about how especially we want to get more organized so that we can save time, but also we want to add more vegetables into our diets. We both found that we weren't eating enough vegetables, and this is something we both wanted to work towards. And like many people, we are a busy family with football season starting especially. We have a lot on our plates, especially during the week with football training, with getting to games, and we just wanted an easy and healthy way that we can be eating meals as a family. We are a little bit complicated when it comes to how we eat in this family. I have the two boys that are meat eaters and I'm vegetarian. I have been since I was very young. So we obviously eat different things, but when you break meals down to just the basics, I do find that a lot of things can be really easily done for both vegetarians and meat eaters. So I will cover things like that as well. If you want more information on how I do this on like an ongoing basis, drop a comment down below and just let me know that this is something you're interested in, and I'm happy to give more information about how we manage this and wrangle it as a family. And without further ado, here is today's video. As a way to make meal prep not quite so overwhelming, I've just prepared some portions of different types of food. Some rice, some which will go in the fridge, some in the freezer. Some different types of vegetables, including mushrooms, greens, and roast vegetables. What we'll do is we can add these to meals later. As well as the main meals, I've cut up some fruit and cut up and grated some cheese. Now I'm going to show you how by pre-preparing some of these foods, it makes actual meal preparation easier. With the mushrooms that I prepared earlier, I cut up some tomatoes, add some spices and some tinned beans, which adds to the convenience. Added it to the rice that I pre-prepared, which I also have some in the freezer. This made a delicious and wholesome meal. With a sprinkle of cheese on top, it was extra delicious and I was ready to go in about 10 minutes. I'm going to make chocolate banana protein muffins. This is based on a recipe that were kind of like little cake sort of size as well. So I'm going to guess the cooking time and I will come back to you when I have worked out the exact cooking time. I'm using these silicone muffin trays. I've had them forever, so I'm just going to use what I have rather than buying, what was listed in the recipe. What I love about this recipe is once you get all the ingredients gathered, which I have here, you just throw it all in a bowl and away you go. So I've got my trusty bowl, and in there I'm going to add all my ingredients. So I will grab the spoon. I've got the bananas that are mashed up, and what I'm doing as well is I'm doing a double batch of this, and I'm just going to pop them in the freezer. I find whenever I cook things, if you do extra, it's just so easy then to put it in the freezer and you haven't done anything additional. You've just done what you're doing anyway, but you do double the amount. I've got the vanilla protein powder. I'm using plain flour, plain Greek yogurt. Also, the original recipe for this was given a different type of yogurt, but I really like just plain Greek yogurt, and that's what we have at home, so that's what I'm using. There's 4 eggs for this one. I'll just mix all that around before I add any more ingredients. Give my hands a bit of a wipe off. Then you have 2 teaspoons of baking powder. It says 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract per serving, so that would mean 2. I am almost out of vanilla though, so I'm just going to put in whatever I have, which is probably about 1.5 teaspoons. I would probably usually add a bit more vanilla. I just really love a strong vanilla flavour. So I have already popped it on my shopping list for next time. Got 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, so that will mean 4 because I'm doubling the recipe. Oh, I love the smell of cinnamon. And then what I'll do is I'll just give everything a really good mix around again. Make sure that it's mixed properly before I add in the chopped chips. And then what the recipe calls for is that you add some of the chopped chips now. I'll probably add about 2/3 of them, and then I'll leave some for the end. So once they're in the muffin trays, I'll just pop a few more chocolate chips on the top. Just popped them in. I will set the timer for 15 minutes and I'm just going to give them a check after that. I don't want them to dry out too much. As I said, I have changed the pan that they're cooking in, so I'm not quite sure of the cooking time, but I'll let you know how they go. It's been 15 minutes. Let's take them out and have a look. To me, they look ready. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to get a knife and just poke them in the middle and see how we go. you've enjoyed this video about meal prepping and the soft launch that we've done as a family. And as I said first up in the video, if this is something that you want more of, that you're interested in, pop your comments down below. Let me know specifically what you're interested in, or if it's just a general meal prepping that you're interested in, or how I'm trying to maintain a healthy diet and what my version of healthy is in perimenopause. Let me know. I'd love to start the conversation. And if you've enjoyed the video, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for watching. See you next time.